Hello guys, welcome once more to another video in our YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to continue looking at the problems that featured in physics of the National Aptitude Examination into the first year of medical, odontostomatological and pharmaceutical training in Cameroon. We are going to focus on physics 2019 question 2. The question reads: the bulb of a simple pendulum is oscillated as shown in the figure below. If the rockets when the bulb passes through the point B, here we have the diagram. Now we have 5 options. Option A says the bulb will fall vertically from point B. Option B says the bulb will go beyond point C before falling. Option C says the path described by the bulb will be given by h equal to gx squared on 2u squared, where h is the height of the bulb from the ground, u is the horizontal velocity of the bulb, x is the horizontal distance traveled by the bulb, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Option D, the bulb will decrease with describe the circular movement, and option E, none of the above. Alright, so I would like to first of all want you to visualize this aspect of a bulb moving in a in simple harmonic motion, because this kind of it is oscillating. All right, so it maybe moves from point A to point B, then to point C, and then it's kind of oscillating, right? So when the rope cuts, it is at point B, or the question says that if the rope cuts when the bulb passes through point B, what happens? So let us just maybe imagine that, all right, it was moving from point A to point B, and then now the rope cut when it was passing through the point B. Or we can also see that it was rather moving from C to B, and then the rope cut when it was still passing through B. Anyhow we analyze it, we are going to have the same results. But from what I did, I instead consider that, okay, the rope is going to cut when it was moving from A to B and passing through B. So the rope cut when it was moving in this direction. All right, so with a little diagram I drew to analyze the equation, if the rope cuts when it is moving, when it is passing through this point, then definitely it is not going to arrive point C again. Okay, it's not going to arrive point C again. So this option B that is saying that the bulb will go beyond point C before falling is already false, because you cannot go beyond. When they say go beyond point C, it means you're going to go above point C. So it's kind of telling us that it is going to arrive at a certain point here before it falls, which is false. All right, so it is not going to go beyond point C before falling. So option B is wrong. Now option A says that the bulb will fall vertically. It is impossible for you to fall vertically because you were oscillating. So if you're moving from point A and then you're passing through point B and the rope cut, you cannot just go vertically. You cannot just go vertically downwards. Okay, so option A is also wrong. Let us go to option D. The bulb will describe circular movement, which is also wrong. You cannot be moving in a circle after that incident. Now let us focus on option C, which is actually correct. So I'm really telling you that this is the answer. Now let's go, let us analyze and prove why option C is correct. Now imagine that the bulb is moving like this. So when you arrive point B, the rope is going to cut. So you normally start moving in the horizontal direction, okay, because you are passing through point B to go to point C. So once the rope cuts, you initially be moving in a horizontal direction, and then you're going to be moving in this path. You cannot go up again, so you're going to be moving horizontally initially, then you now describe what we call a parabola. So this is what happens. So when you're passing through point B and this rope cuts, you're normally going to be moving initially in the horizontal direction before you now describe this path. So you're going to kind of move like this. Okay, so initially you are moving in the horizontal, then at a certain time you are now going to describe a parabolic path. So at a certain time you now arrive at the ground. Okay, I just call this a ground. So this is a point B, that is initial state, and then this is a final state when it arrives the ground. Now we are going to look for the height above the ground reached by the ball, which is also called the vertical distance traveled by the bulb. Okay, and we are going to relate it with the horizontal distance traveled. The horizontal distance traveled is the distance actually from this position, not from this position. Okay, from this position to the ground. So a little error, so that distance is from this position. Okay, so the horizontal distance is x and the vertical distance is h. Now let us use the Newton's laws of motion. So one of the laws says that the distance traveled is equal to ut plus half at squared. Since I'm dealing with horizontal distance, I'm going to call it x. The u I'm going to use is the initial velocity in the horizontal direction, which is ux. This t here is the time of flight, the time taken from the initial position to the final position. Then plus half at squared. The a here is the acceleration of the bulb in the horizontal direction, but since you are actually moving in a vertical direction, okay, your acceleration is just in that direction. All right, so your acceleration in the vertical direction is positive g, while the acceleration in the horizontal direction is 0, because there is no acceleration in the horizontal direction. So from here we are going to have that x is equal to ut, because according to option C, u is the horizontal velocity, the initial horizontal velocity specifically, so that is u. So your x will be equal to ut because ax is 0. Now let us find the vertical distance traveled. So y. So y will be equal to uyt plus half ayt squared. Your uy here is the initial velocity in the vertical direction, but since initially you were moving in the horizontal direction before you describe this parabolic part, then that initial velocity in the vertical direction is 0. Now your ay is the acceleration in the vertical direction, and the acceleration in the vertical direction is positive g, because you are in the same direction as g acts. So your y will be equal to gt squared over 2, because ay is g. Then your t, the time of flight in horizontal and vertical are all the same, because it is just the time taken by the bulb to move from its initial position to its final position. So whether in the horizontal direction or in the vertical direction, the t remains t. Now from the first equation, I will eliminate t, since I need to relate y and x. So t has to go out of the equation. So t is just going to be given by x over u, and when I replace t here with x over u, t squared will be x squared over u squared. So at the end of the day, we are going to have y to be equal to gx squared over 2u squared, and this y is definitely the h, the distance above the ground traveled by the bulb, or the height above the ground traveled by the bulb. So our h will be equal to gx squared over 2u squared, and the bulb is going to describe a parabolic path. So looking at it, like I said, option C is going to be correct. Tell me what you feel about this video in the comment section. Make sure you like the video after watching, you share the video, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You can get to me. I'm going to put my number in the comment section, so that if you have any difficulty while preparing for your concours, be it engineering or medicine, in physics and in maths, you can always get to me, and with a question I will try to do a video and post in the channel, so that it can help so many other people. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Remain blessed, and see you in the next video.